Hi, Professor O Flaherty. Nice to meet you.
Hi,
it's a pleasure meeting you, and thank you for taking your time today to spend a few minutes to talk with us today. As you know, Einstein Academy of Undergraduate Learning, a private test prep company, helps students from K to 12 go into prestigious universities such as Columbia University itself. For many students, their dream is an Ivy League school. So I guess the first question I should ask you, probably, even though you're not in admissions, is what tip would you give to a student who is dying to get into an Ivy League school? Is it all about book smart, or is there is there a secret you can tell us?
It's not a secret. Do what you love.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the admissions process. I'm not sure anybody understands the admissions process. Basically, nobody is admitted.
Mm-hmm.
But there are two things about doing what you love. The first one is, if you don't get admitted, you've done what you loved.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, the most important thing in the admissions process, I think, is to be outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
And you're more likely to be outstanding in doing something that you love than in doing something that you hate.
Let's just say I'm in 12th grade. I graduate high school, I'm super happy, and I get accepted to Columbia University. I'm not the brightest kid in the world, let's just pretend. Well, I'm not the brightest kid in the world. I wish. But
and why were you accepted to Columbia?
There's a huge gap between the knowledge that a 12th grader knows and then an undergraduate student knows, because there's a struggle. And it's not just Columbia University, it's all the universities out there. There's a lot of students who find college a struggle. The classes are very hard because, you know, they're so used to a teacher just saying, okay guys, here's your review sheet. I'm just going to change the numbers and that's your exam. So high school is a breeze. Why is there such a big gap? What are we lacking as an American? You know, what are we lacking as a society? That huge gap between high school and then all of a sudden undergraduate admissions.
Perhaps high schools could be different. Perhaps colleges could hold hands more.
Mm-hmm.
But there are many transitions in life which are...
Absolutely.
Especially for young people. I mean, you go to the Army, you're hanging around with your friends one day and you have people shooting at you the next day. That's a little bit more abrupt than going from high school to college.
Yeah, because in real life you always come across obstacles which are, you know, far beyond what you have expected, and now you have to overcome this. Very interesting.
I mean, I would like people to know everything in class before I teach it, but
yeah.
I think I'm very happy with dealing with Columbia seniors, so we're probably doing something right. It's a ship that's rocky, but people don't fall off.
Mm-hmm. That's really true.
There may be other colleges, there may be other people that have that experience, mm-hmm. but the ones that I've been dealing with for 28 years are not like that.
Mm-hmm. And how do you make a class interesting? I would hope that a professor tries to keep his students engaged. I mean, I've been in classes and I've been, you know, sleeping in class because it's so boring. But obviously, you're a great professor. What kind of things do you do to keep the class engaged?
I have to keep me engaged. And the main thing that I do is I look at faces and try to figure out whether I'm making sense.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to sleep in my class, please go to sleep in the back because I feel really bad.
Yeah.
But so the first thing is to watch faces.
Mm-hmm.
And figure out what's going on. I guess the first day is tough because I don't know which faces to watch. By the fourth or fifth day, I know who has expressive faces and who doesn't have expressive faces. I teach to the expressive faces, unfortunately. The other thing is to come up with good examples, to try to make sure it's interesting, to look for questions. I mean, the stuff I teach is inherently interesting.
Mm-hmm.
At least it's inherently interesting to me.
Yeah.
So I assume it's just interesting.
Federal government should start doing some background checks on people's requesting for this, you know, big sum of money to pay for college, or do you think that there should be a better process, you know, to just determine, statistically speaking, even though they can make all the mathematical models they want, but you can't really tell if someone can afford to pay it back in the future. But do you think that there should be some sort of change in the regulations of how the federal government just grants out and gives out money, or do you think it's fine as it is?
And I could see ways that one, if you subsidize directly tuition, then you have the same issue. I think you would generally find that people who came from less privileged backgrounds would lose out if you did background checks.
Yeah. And that would not be fair.
That would not be fair. I mean, clearly, and 18-year-olds have no credit rating.
Exactly.
In this, they should have no credit rating.
I would hope not.
So what can you do except their parents' credit rating?
Exactly. But the student shouldn't be burdened because of their parents. I mean.
Yeah. So in 18-year-olds, if you're looking for good character as a person paying back money, you have no record to go on.
Yeah. Do you think it's difficult for most college students, to graduate from college and then get a job? Because there's a large amount of students who are graduating the degree with a bachelor's degree, let's say, and then they go out in the field and they're like, everyone denies them because either they need research, they need experience, and they're always turned down. And then the student thinks, okay, let me get my master's degree because it'll help me. And then they go back, take another loan, and go back to school, waste another 2 years. Well, let's not say waste, but they get their master's degree, and now they try again. But once again, they have no experience, so now they have to try to volunteer for 1 to 2 years, pay, and then finally they'll land a job. What do you think about the system? Obviously, it's not for everyone.
I mean, you've got, and this is a bad time. It's the recession is getting over. So, these guys had a basic mistake.
Yeah.
Which is that they were born in 1994.
Exactly.
I don't exactly know how you can undo that.
Yeah.
If college graduates are doing much better than high school graduates and college dropouts.
That's true.
So the alternatives are college graduate, college dropout, high school graduate. High school graduate, you have been going on the market when the economy is even worse. And not being born in 1994. So, as usual, they should blame their parents.
Thank you for your time, and it was a pleasure speaking with you.
It's a pleasure.
And I look forward to seeing you again, okay?
Thank you.